Hi, good morning. Today is Wednesday, and I'm here with Doug for Wednesdays with Doug. I'm Tammy Fichette, and this is Doug Tobin, broker of record for Intero Real Estate. And today we're here discussing an article that Doug presented to me. It's out of the San Jose Mercury News, and it talks about home sales, a feeding frenzy. The most desirable locations in the Silicon Valley gained nearly 30% over the last year. And this article is by Louis Hansen. So, Doug, after reviewing this article, just to give you a little background, the article goes into talking about how we have cryptocurrency, AI, or blockchain companies in our investment portfolio. However, homes are still the hottest commodity here in the Bay Area, and it goes on to give a few statistics that prices in the 9 county regions bolted up 14% from March 2017, and led by soaring deals in Santa Clara and San Mateo counties, according to a report released Tuesday by the real estate data firm CoreLogic, being that the median resale price for a Bay Area home last month was a record $850,000. According to Kevin Cole, a broker for Alan Pinnell, he states that it's basically a feeding frenzy. Buyers are motivated after bidding high and still failing to close a deal. They're not just being disappointed once, but it's twice and sometimes 4 or 5 times. And the median home prices have now risen 72 straight months, a run that has bested the market swell of the dot-com era. And in San Mateo and Santa Clara counties, we had a 29% growth. Alameda had 11.7, and Contra Costa had 11%, and San Francisco saw a 12% growth. And it states that this is fueled by low unemployment and a strong economy coupled with a shortage of housing. So, Doug, with these factors in mind, and we know that it's probably going to get more expensive living here in the Bay Area, what advice would you suggest to our buyers in this market?
Well, Tammy, as you and I were talking about before, it's really tough to deal in this market. And when we're talking about things that, a house we're talking about was listed for 1.3 million and went for 1.8, buyers have to be really careful when they're in these to not get involved in the feeding frenzy. Buyers are in the market for a while, and they'll see what things are going for, and they'll get an idea of what a home is worth to them. And where you're going out every week and finding a couple homes you could live with, and you're making offers and you're not getting it, a lot of people fall into the trap of they get in a bidding war, and then they'll say, "Oh, heck with it," and just go really high, be what we call that outlier. And when they do that, then often they wake up the next morning and go, "What have I done?" and look for ways out. And that's one of the problems with our non-contingent offers. People are actually in default, and we're fighting over several deposits where people woke up to the fact that maybe they shouldn't have offered that much. So the general advice to buyers has to be that figure out, be in the market enough to tell what's going to cost, figure out what you plan to pay, what you can pay, and almost ignore the list price, but take a look at homes that you feel like you can afford and you want, and figure out how high you can go. When this bidding war gets going, don't get caught in the frenzy. Don't fall for it. Bid up to what you feel you can afford. And often in this market, if it's a multiple offer situation, that's the offer you're going to make. You're not looking for a counter. If they counter, you're going to be out because you gave them the best offer you could. And that's the best advice: is don't get caught up in it. Figure out what you want and stay in there, making offers, and try not to get too down by it, and try not to get too discouraged. But people that do that are getting homes and are out there. I find it interesting, just the difference between Santa Clara County and our surrounding counties, and it seems like maybe those are some decent buys. If Alameda County is going up half as fast as Santa Clara County, eventually that's got to even out. They're servicing the same job markets to a certain extent, or part overlapping, and same with Contra Costa County. So maybe there's some good buys up there. Start taking a look at it, and it may not be as long a commute as you think if you're going opposite commute. And I think that's some of what we're seeing is people going to Alameda County and Contra Costa County.
So it's best, from what you said, that buyers are well informed of the area and not just leave this to their agent and expand where they would consider living. Think outside of the box.
Right.
Because just piggybacking on what you said again, if the prices aren't going up higher in these other counties, maybe it's well worth their time and effort to go check out there, correct?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly it. It's interesting, there was a companion article also on the front page of the Merc this morning about the super commutes people are doing coming in from Merced and Modesto and that sort of stuff, and we're getting like 7% of the employees are doing super commutes that are more than 3 hours a day. But if they're serious buyers, they should be able to buy in Fremont, Hayward, Newark, those areas where it wouldn't be that bad a commute down into Silicon Valley.
Okay, wonderful. So it seems as though just our buyers do have other options out there. They
Yes.
just have to expand their search of what they may want and what they may not want, just basing it on whether it's their commute or even adding in school district. Just play around with their
Yes.
options, correct?
Yes, yes. And as you and I were talking before, people will pay exorbitant amounts of money to get in the right school district and get in the best school district, and then they turn around and send their kids to private school. No, anyway.
That's a whole nother subject, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, Doug, thank you so much for addressing this article. If you would like to see the article yourself, what I'm going to do, if you're viewing this via Facebook, I'm going to put the link in the box above. If it's YouTube, it's going to be in the box below. And if you have any questions directly for Doug and or myself, his contact information is going to be there. Otherwise, have a great day, and we'll see you next Wednesday.